Welcome to Classroom Impact.
What's the one thing you would change about teaching if you had ultimate power?
And if you did have ultimate power, what would be the ultimate outcome that you would hope to achieve?
Pretty much every school teacher I know isn't in it for the money. We want to make an impact. And at the end of the day, we want to know that our lives mattered for something, that we really did leave the world in a better state.
I love hearing stories of students who tracked down the teacher that made the most impact in their lives.
I love to hear celebrities publicly acknowledge a previous school teacher who made them the person they are today, or even was the one person who had their back when it felt like no one else did.
We could all be forgiven for doubting ourselves at times, thinking, why has this not happened to me? Am I really making a difference?
I had a particularly funny colleague who jokingly claimed to be Teacher of the Year. This was after pointing out that a previous student of his was on the news for being convicted of abduction after an infamous police chase.
We know we can't take credit for all that our students turn out to be, but we often do wonder, am I really making a difference?
We get inspired when we see Closing the Gap initiatives, and then demoralised and overwhelmed when we see the continuing downward trend.
Some days it feels like we are exhausted and shooting arrows into the air with not many of them hitting the targets we want.
We are two Australian primary school teachers who also happen to be sisters. Join us as we champion each other on and ponder how we can put research into action in practical ways that don't add to our workload. Things that don't drain us but create their own energy.
From a practical perspective, each episode will be released with visuals on YouTube, so you can chuck the episode on your smartboard while you pin up artwork on your classroom wall.
But if you're a gardening, cleaning, or even driving podcast listener, we'll do our best to explain any visuals along the way. You can check them out later using our YouTube chapters.
We'll share stories of things that have worked and the things that haven't worked in the classroom.
We'll fast track you to the research we've used, the good stuff that creates the kind of impact that motivates students through success in the classroom.
We'll talk about the changes we've made that put a spring in our step rather than just adding to our workload.
We'll be your tribe when it feels like you're outputting a lot more than the support and input you're getting.
And most importantly, we'll aim to have every work hour produce impact in the classroom.
Welcome to Classroom Impact.